Thank you all very much. I know most of you participated in yesterday's events, which were really thrilling and insightful. I thought I'd take a few minutes to summarize what I took away as some of the main points from the speakers yesterday. Of course, many of you have not even had a chance to speak, so we're looking forward to hearing from you all today. But here are a few takeaways from yesterday. One matter that kept coming up was the incentive system and how we have too many perverse incentives. Some of the ideas that were thrown out yesterday is imposing on tech companies a duty of care for democracy, not just to their shareholders, but actually to our democratic principles. It's easy to see that there's a huge difference between Wikipedia, nonprofit, and what a good job Wikipedia's done in preventing misinformation from taking over that platform versus the for-profit platforms, which don't have the same duty to the public and to their contributors. Another thing that came up over and over again was the issue of how we as scientists are relating to communities. One thing that was mentioned yesterday was the problem when scientists say, you need to do this. I remember back from the time when I was head of the US Geological Survey. As scientists, we never told policymakers what they need to do. We would instead ask, what outcome would you like? And they say, well, this is what we'd like to happen, so this is what we're thinking of imposing. And as a scientist, I'd say, well, if that's the outcome you want, that's not what you want to impose. Because here's what the science says the result will be of taking that action. And so it is a matter of matching the science to what the desired political outcome is. And that's also true with talking with just people. If you start with shared values and you agree that these are things we want to see, I have a group that I go camping with in the Sierras every summer. We've been doing this for 25 years now. And these are, the people that we camp with are very conservative from very red parts of the state of California. And we start with saying, this is something we love doing together, and we want our children and grandchildren to have this same experience. And then I start pointing out to them how things have changed over the 20 years. How the first couple years we came up, we would have to break the ice on the horses' water troughs every morning. And now we haven't seen ice for years. And how this changing temperature is actually changing the meadows and changing the ecosystems, and not in ways that we feel it's quite the same experience. So I think it's important for all of us, especially scientists here in this audience, to get out of our science ghettos, spend more time with our communities so that they trust us because we're one of them and they know we share their values. Otherwise, as scientists, we tend to submerge our values. We want to get at the truth regardless of what we might value. But the public doesn't understand that. They want to know that we want the same outcome that they do when we talk about science.
Today, we will be really drilling down into these issues with scientists, business people, decision makers, civil society, as an example of what needs to happen if we are to have a better information environment. Scientists and others need to work together. And we're going to have still with us today world-leading experts and world-leading practitioners this morning in 3 panels. The first panel will look at how the information environment in this complex world of ours can be a force for good. What does that take? The second will look at how behavioral science can help us overcome health misinformation. And the third panel will look at something many touched on yesterday, which was the rapid development of new technologies, and in particular, of course, AI, and whether that will be, or the extent to which that will be a force for bad or an opportunity for good. So quite exciting discussions this morning. This will all be streamed for the digital audience globally. After the break, we'll have breakout sessions here in this center, but there will be a parallel digital program streamed on nobelprize.org. And not least, there will be this test of the deliberative polling instrument that we're doing in collaboration with Stanford to see how the digital audience can take part in a deliberative polling. So that's something that will also take place today. And if I'm not mistaken, it's not too late to register for that deliberative exercise. We'll get back here at the end of the day, including with the digital audience, to close it off. But in the meantime, the wow factor from yesterday can be replicated in many different ways throughout today as well. Have a great day.
We're looking forward to all of you speaking up. This is a great quality audience of real experts, so we want to hear from you. Thank you.